Now, police are going to be on alert this morning for more protests on the M25 after 3 days of disruption by the campaign group Just Stop Oil. Yesterday, they blocked a number of junctions on the motorway with protesters climbing the gantries. A police motorcyclist was injured as parts of the motorway in Kent, Surrey, Essex and Hertfordshire were closed. Let's speak to Lisa Townsend, who is the Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner for Surrey. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Rachel.
How are you dealing with this at the moment?
So it's really tough for the police. We're sending far more resources out there and quite frankly should be out on the M25. What they should be doing is out and about in our communities. We're relying on support from other forces. I was out on Tuesday on the M25 with the force, spoke to officers from the Met Police, obviously from Surrey and Sussex, and also an officer from Humberside. So it's really, really tough for the police, but more importantly, it's tough for residents who are trying to get around Surrey, get to appointments, get to hospitals, do all of that, and who aren't seeing police on the streets because they're being taken up by these protesters on the M25.
Why have the police been so heavy-handed in the way that they've dealt with journalists trying to cover these protests?
Well, I'm conscious there is one journalist, Charlotte, yesterday who's dealt with. Now it's a different force from mine.
There's more than one story of this happening, actually. But I'm aware it's not your force, but...
Yeah, it's not our force, and I can't really comment on other forces because I haven't been involved in it, and so I don't know the details behind it. All I would say is that police are put in a really difficult position here. You've got people on a very dangerous stretch of motorway, so the busiest motorway in Europe, and we have one of the busiest, most dangerous stretches, certainly, that runs through Surrey. And they're presented with people who are, quite frankly, where they shouldn't be, on gantries, taking a really, really dangerous stance. And I do have some sympathy for the police here when they have to deal with what's in front of them very quickly.
Do you have some sympathy for the people who say this is a cause to highlight an existential crisis, that our planet is on fire and there is no future for your children or grandchildren unless politicians sit up and take action?
Quite frankly, no, I don't. There are all kinds
you don't agree with that, or you
I don't
think that should be a priority, or...
Oh, I think it is a priority. I think looking at this government and what they've done, it clearly is a priority. And I think if you look at other governments around the world, you can see quite starkly how much this country is doing. But whatever the cause is, actually, I think the cause is irrelevant in this particular case. I am a massively in favour, a huge advocate of peaceful protest. I think it's a really important cornerstone of our democracy. And, Britain wouldn't be Britain without that right to peaceful protest. But to be absolutely clear, Rachel, this is not peaceful protest.
Okay,
this is putting people's lives at risk right now.
And loads of people will agree with you. Absolutely. You'll have loads of sympathy from our listeners. Tim has said this: I haven't been affected by Just Stop Oil protests, but I have been affected by accidents caused by drivers going too fast or looking at their phone or working too many hours. Please ask the police about those too, for they are likewise illegal.
Yeah, absolutely. They are illegal. And that is something that the police are cracking down on. Certainly my own force in Surrey. It's something that we're taking very strong action against. It's very dangerous. But that's, that is obviously separate from this issue. And I would, we do an awful lot of work, particularly in Surrey, working very closely with partners. I attended an event last week in Surrey around an initiative in Surrey called Safe Drive, Stay Alive, which has been going for many years, around the importance of safe driving, around not using your phone, not even looking at your phone, and the catastrophic things that can happen when you do, both to your own life and those of others around you. Yeah. So that is a really, really serious issue as well.
Yeah, I think the point is that the police don't spend much time on that.
Well, we'd love to spend more time on it, but do you know what makes it very difficult to spend time
dealing
on
with
that?
protesters.
Dealing with protesters. That's right. Exactly it, Rachel.
Okay, Lisa, thank you for talking to us this morning. Lisa Townsend, the Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner for Surrey.